Okay, so let's get started. So week 2, what we're going to talk about this week is prospecting for diamonds. We all want those diamond managers, and I'm sure most of us want to be a diamond manager too. I certainly do. We do have a diamond manager here in Wales, which is Jane Leach and John Curtis, and that's very exciting. And we're lucky in the QLS power team that we're in their team, so we get all the great training from those. We're going to talk about contacting and what to say and how to handle objections. How many people need to learn that? I know when I first started my business, that was one of the biggest things that really held me back in the beginning stages. So learning how to handle objections and what to say was really, really useful. So if you were like me, make sure that you're jotting down all those notes that are going to help you. Points activity sheets as well, we'll talk a little bit about. And making sure that you're doing the right activity, because I know sometimes in business you can sometimes think that you're really, really busy, running around like a headless chicken. Things are going wrong. If you're a little bit like me, you start shaking. Instead of shaking your shake in the morning, you shake your cup of tea because you're that busy, and you're running around everywhere, but you're not actually doing income producing activities. So you always need to check yourself. Am I doing the activity that's going to move my business forward, or am I just running around like a headless chicken and wasting time? So these points activity sheets will really, really help you with that. So let's just have a quick review of week 1. I know that I think it was Carolyn and Tina took you through week 1. We should now have our product stories up and running. And practicing them with all those great hooks in there, and for the products, but also business stories as well. Have we got our business stories starting to develop and starting to tell your business stories to your prospects, and people that you're meeting for one-to-ones and things, with all of those hooks in there as well. Have you started your goal book or your dream board? I know that I started my dream board the beginning of this year, because the first year in my business I didn't really take it seriously. I can honestly say, when I'm looking at my dream board right now, because it's in front of me, everything on there I've ticked off. Every single thing I've ticked off. That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had it visual. So are your goals visual? Have you got them in a book that you can see them every day? And have you got them maybe on a visualization board, which is what I have? And what would be a really great thing is, after this, if we all shared ours on our team pages, because that can really start to inspire people. And remember, it's your goal book, it's your dream board. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as somebody else's. It's individual to you and what you want. But get those goals out there and start working towards them. New customers, we talked about how to get new customers and look after new customers. And have anybody got any new customers since the last week of the rolling training? Register with qlsonline.net, www.qlsonline.net. This is where you get all your training videos. This is where you get all your prospecting stuff, training material. It's absolutely fantastic. It's £7 a month to register. Make sure that you've registered for it. All the funds go to Dabu, which is a charity in Malawi that Jane and John support. So that's my little bit for charity that I do, but I get all of those business tools available to help me. And new recruits as well. We talked about new recruits. So week 2, prospecting for diamonds. We're going to talk about why we prospect, developing your contact list, methods of prospecting, and building your pipeline as well, which is really, really important. So let's get started. Okay, there were 3 types of prospectors. So you will fall into one of these 3 categories. You'll be somebody that loves to prospect, or you'll be somebody that are uncomfortable, but you'll just do it anyway. A little bit like me. I'm a little bit like that. And then those that do not like prospecting at all. Why? Because they're frightened. They procrastinate, and will go out of their way to avoid talking to people. Success will always elude them. I was one of those people when I first started my business, when I was first starting ringing my who do you know list, because you would have thought that, that was the worst thing on earth I could have done. And I can remember ringing people and thinking, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. And then they wouldn't answer. So I'd be, oh, thank God, that's one call done. But the reality is, that wasn't one call done, because I didn't speak to anybody. And the only person that I'm stopping from moving forward is myself. So I get to a point now, and this is a really important thing that you'll learn to do in your forever business, is you start to feel comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. So we live our lives in our comfort zones, don't we? Inside there. And when we ever start something new or start learning something or doing something different that pushes us outside of that comfort zone, we start into the adventure zone. So that's what you need to be a little bit like. And it is uncomfortable, of course it is. But you need to start feeling comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, because then you know that you're moving yourself forward every step of the way and every moment of your business. There are also 3 types of prospects, and that is those that are looking for something right now. So they've got an acute interest. Those that are more curious and would like to find out more. That's a moderate interest. And those that have little interest or are not interested at all. That's marginal. And you think about now the people that you would have spoken to maybe today, if you've done your 5 calls today, and how many people that you can think of that fall into those categories. Because I know, for example, I've definitely got my 5 calls that I made today, actually 6 I made today, then definitely people have fallen into those categories, definitely. So just make this bit a little bit more interactive now for you. There are 10 reasons why people join a network marketing company, and I want you to guess what they are. Okay. And basically what we want to think about is the way that you think about it, the way your prospect views it, and the way that multi-level marketing ranking a survey came back at. And these are the different things here down the side, what you think are most important to a prospect, and the way that a prospect actually views it. So what do you think? Do you think the most important thing is the company literature shown, the marketing plan, training provided, who gave the presentation, product line, company management experience, the upline support, the company image, the sales and starter kit, or being first in this area? Okay, so you think about now and maybe put a little pop in your questions box as to, on a scale of let's think 1 to 10, 1 being the most important and 10 being the least, what you feel as though is the most important. We'll just do just what you want to do is just write in there what you think is the most important thing that a prospect looks at before joining this company. So if you type that into your box now, and then we'll give you the answers in a sec. The presentation. Okay, thank you, Amanda. Sean thinks the marketing plan and potential earnings. Thank you. What does anybody else think is the number 1 thing that your prospect is looking at? Okay, we've got a few marketing plans. Who gave the presentation? Marketing plan, potential earnings. Marketing plan. Marketing plan. Thank you, Zoe. Lucy thinks marketing plan as well. Anybody else? Training provided. Thank you, Beth. Glenn, company management. Thank you. Lisa Dunning, potential earnings. Excellent. So there's a wide range of things there of how each of us actually perceive what somebody's looking for in a network marketing company. But I can actually show you the results now, and the results are as follows. So the survey that came up, the number 1 spot on here that somebody looks at when looking at the business presentation is who gave the presentation. Number 2 was the upline support. Number 3, the marketing plan and earnings. Number 4, the training provided. Number 5, the products. Number 6 was being first in the area. Number 7 was the company literature shown. Number 8, the company image. Number 9, the starter pack. And number 10, the company management experience. So you can see there that it's all about us. Who gives the presentation? And because what happens is people buy people. They don't buy, the products and everything, all of those types of things. They buy you. So you need to make sure, and you need to ask yourself before you step out in the morning or when you're doing your presentations, check yourself, would I buy me? Because if you would buy you, guaranteed somebody else will buy you. So you need to check yourself and think about that. So it's always who gave the presentation. That's really interesting. And I always used to think that it was, being first in the area and the marketing plan and things like that. But actually, it's you. People buy people, which is very, very interesting. So make sure that somebody's going to buy you. There are lots of different ways of prospecting. You've got your contact list, your who do you know list, which is actually one of the most important parts of starting your forever business. Everybody has a contact list when they start their business, don't they? Whether they're a beautician, a plumber, petitioner, whatever they do, everybody has a contact list, a list of people. I actually think we're very lucky because our contact list are people that we know. You got things like Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites. If you are going to use this as activity in methods of prospecting, I would say it needs to be additional. You can't rely on Facebook and your social media sites to build your business, even though it is absolutely fantastic to grow your business. Don't just think, right, if I've sent out 10 messages to somebody on Facebook, that they're going to come back to you, because it doesn't. You need to use Facebook as an additional activity, because remember, people buy people. They will buy you. They buy your excitement. They need to hear and feel that energy and excitement down the phone. Contact marketing, which is people shopping. Talk about that. That's one of my favorite things to do. Face-to-face conversations. Again, people buy people. See people face to face. It's a lot more effective than just sending an email. So if you do just send an email now and you're starting to think to myself, I've sent out 50 or 60 emails and nobody's getting back to me, ask yourself why. People buy people. So you need to have that contact over the phone or face to face to speak to people actually about it, and use your Facebook, use the other stuff as additional activity. Cards and flyers, you can put some cards and flyers around. Put boxes and put product launches, you can recruit very, very well through those. Local shows and exhibitions, which is what we normally call tabletops. Referrals, so, if somebody says no to you, it's not a no, not ever. You think to yourself, get in your mind, okay, this person might say no to me, but I'm going to work with this person in one way or another. They just don't know it yet. So you might then give them a put box or do a product launch with them, or you might even ask them for a referral. And referrals work very well. Okay, no problem. I know that the business isn't for you. Not a problem at all. But listen, I'm looking for people that are like you, outgoing and amazing, and have this great vision. So you being one of those people, I'm sure that you're surrounded by those people too. Do you know anybody who wants to earn an extra £400 to £500 a month at the moment? Or do you know anybody who wants to work really flexibly and part-time around their children? It's very powerful. In some cases like that, when I've asked for a referral, I've actually had the person go, can you really earn an extra £500 a month? And then I've managed to sit down and show them the business. Local advertising, satisfied customers, talk to groups. So, WI groups, network, or join any networking clubs. They're really, really good. And anything else that you can think of. When I say other, I would just say, just be creative and leave no stone unturned. If you're speaking to people about the opportunity on a daily basis, consistently and persistently, you will naturally build a team. Never ever give up. Be aware that people will say no to you, but that's okay, because we welcome the no's. Remember, 1 in 10 people will join your team, so you need to be comfortable with people saying no to you, and go for no. The more no's you get, the more people you get in your team. If you're not getting enough no's, you're not speaking to enough people. So, other things like leaving paper trails around the place. If I go for a coffee somewhere, then, I don't leave that coffee shop without leaving my business card on the table or a flyer on the table. Leave a little paper trail everywhere you go. Jane Leach always says on the back of toilet doors, she's recruited somebody off the back of a toilet door, believe it or not. And it makes so much sense, because when they're sat down going to toilet, if they're a woman, I know men stand up, but you might want to put it in front of that and then where they stand up. But when a woman sat down on the toilet, or men even sometimes when they sit down on the toilet, they're all literally, what are you looking at? Think about it straight ahead. And they've got those little things on there, haven't they? And you can just put your business cards around the side. And Jane Leach was saying that she has recruited a lot of people from that. So it all starts with our contact list. We need to develop a list of over 100 people. UK and overseas, we've gone global. So it's really, really important now that you start thinking about other people in different countries, and you can have an amazing international business and get paid from all different areas around the world. If you develop a list, if you think of it, I know when people come to me, they don't know many people, and I say, okay, you don't know many people, but how many people are on your Facebook account? How many people do you have in your mobile phone? You know, definitely in most cases more than 100 people. So you need to start thinking about, because every single person that's on your Facebook, I'm assuming you know them, so therefore they're on your who do you know list. To build your contact list, you can use the memory jogger. By in your Teach to Reach, everybody should have a Teach to Reach manual. So there's some fantastic tools in there to help you with your contact list. This will, like I said, be one of the most important things you do. So take it seriously. Empty your head without prejudging. I used to think to myself, gosh, she'll never be interested in my business. Look at her. She's fantastic. She's got, great job, great things going on, nice house. She doesn't need any extra money. But the reality is she might not need the extra money, but she wants the time. So she wants the money and the time. Look at Chris and Alan Goldsborough. They were company directors, had both on six-figure incomes. Life of your dreams, you would assume. But no, they didn't have any time with their family at all. So never, ever prejudge somebody, because it's not just, you don't know if it's for them or not, because who are you to judge? And also, you don't know who they're going to lead you to, because you're going to ask them for a referral if they do say no. So is it worth your time? That person that you could have been referred to could potentially be your diamond manager. Do you want to miss and walk past your diamond manager just because you thought, nah, they're not going to be interested? You can't afford to. Use the STEAM, which is a memory jogger in your Teach to Reach. And this is just basically thinking about people in sales, write everybody down. Thinking about people who are in teaching, write everybody down. How many people do you know that are enthusiastic? Write them down. How many people have got a great attitude? Write them down. And anybody who likes money or needs an extra income or needs money, write those down as well. And you can also use the frogs one. This is one I find really effective for me even now, because 2.5, well, nearly 3 years into the business, you would think that my who do you know list has run out, but it's not. It's still as active from the day I first started. Why? Because you meet new people. I've started taking my nephews to school, so I started meeting people at the school and started recruiting people up there. My nephew now says something really funny as I walk past. He always says, Auntie Ju, is she in your busyness? So he even he knows. He's giving me referrals too. Get the kids involved. It's fab. And also, your circles of friends change as well. So everybody that you come in contact with or say hello to or meet, hen dos are fab. Oh my gosh, I got about 6 or 7 one-to-ones out of going on a hen do once, because they're people that I don't know, and they were all added on my who do you know list. I spent the whole weekend with them. So this frogs one is fab. So you think about a friend's name, then ask if that friend has got any relatives, and you write all of those relatives down that you know, and then what does that friend do? Write down everybody that you know who's in the same sector. So if they're a teacher, write down all the teachers that you know, and where does that friend live? And then you write down everybody that you know in that area, and you can really, really expand your who do you know list. So if you've got a new team member in your team, one of the first things you need to do is do it yourself, because you can only show people, seeing is believing. So you need to show people your who do you know list, and then they will be more inclined to do theirs. So sit down with your new team member or even you and do your who do you know list, and leave no stone unturned. And always remember, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Next, you haven't got time. If you want to be earning your 2, 3, 4,000 pounds a month, you haven't got time to worry about somebody saying no to you. Now, don't get me wrong, when I first started my business, a no literally would knock me for about a week. And I wouldn't do anything for a week. And I'd have my little pity party. But then the more I understood that actually it was okay that people said no, the easier it gets. And don't get me wrong, I'm still human. I still get my moments. I'm not a robot, and I still think, oh man, they're saying no again. But that's okay, because next, I haven't got time. Now my pity party lasts around about 5 seconds. And it's no, oh God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, next. Who's the next person that needs my help? So remember that there's always someone waiting. And the longer that you're dwelling on the fact that somebody said no to you, the longer you're waiting to speak to somebody that actually is going to say yes to you and join your team and help them build a business. So let go of the outcome, just learn to ask. It really doesn't matter. Go for no. There's a very good book called Go for No. You can get it on Amazon. You can get your hands on that book, and it's really, really, really good for you. Definitely changed the way that I viewed no's anyway. I view no in a very positive way now. So what we want to do is think about making a profile. So what you want to start doing now, maybe this evening or tomorrow, is take the first 15 names of your who do you know list, because you'd literally, when you write your who do you know list, you're not going to pick people out at random. You're going to go from top to bottom. That's the easiest way that I could do it. So literally just go from top to bottom. Sorry, I've just got a question here. How many times would you leave voicemails for prospects with no response? I tend to. I've had this question before. I do ring them until they actually say no, because I never used to. It was only when I was talking to Tina Gillis and Natalie. Literally, it took 20 attempts for Natalie to join, for Tina to join, actually sit down and have a one-to-one with Natalie. So I would say, you don't want to come across as a stalker, but if you are leaving them voicemails and you've got their mobile number, send them a little text too, only because I found that some people respond better by text than they do phone, and some people don't listen to their voicemails. So I keep going until they've actually said no, because eventually they'll get bored or and pick up the phone and say no, it's not for me. But also the other thing is that the time might not be right for them now. So you need to keep, in contact with your prospects, because it might be, a week down the line and you phoned them and actually it's the right time for them now. That's happened to me before. So, try and ring them, leave some voicemails. And if there's not any joy, then I would just probably send them a little text or an email if you've got it. But you kind of know, you need to judge it by yourself, really. You don't want to be ringing them 10 times a day. That's a bit too much. But a couple of times a week or so, and then leave it another week or whatever. Just remain in contact, because you never know what's happened in that person's life. That's been my experience. Hope that answers your question, Lee. So take the first 15 names and we're going to do a little profile on them, which is going to help you know how you're going to call somebody. Because when you're going to call somebody, you're not going to do a blind call. Okay, you're going to know what's in it for them. You can't sit on a call and tell somebody what it's about for you and what you're getting out of it. And that's great. Obviously, you've said that in your story, your business story. But if you're banging on about this extra time that I've got with the family, and somebody just wants extra money because I haven't got a family, that's not going to be very, you're not going to relate to them very much. So do a very quick profile on them. So their occupation. In your Teach to Reach, you'll have profile forms. Their occupation, how old are they? Where do they live? Are they married, family, children? If they have, how old are they? And what is their hot button? This is the most important part. Is it that they want more time with the family? Is it they need extra cash? Is it that big, huge motorbike that they wanted, or that big holiday that they never thought that they would get? Are they due to be made redundant? What is their hot button? Personality and character. So are they caring, positive, outgoing? And then any other information. So, for example, like I said, has the daughter got eczema, or has the children, has somebody got irritable bowel syndrome, or something that we can help them with? Was their husband been made redundant? Because all of these things are going to help you approach your customers. So when you your prospects, sorry. So when you're just going to phone somebody, you're not literally just going to ring them and talk off the top of your head. You need to be prepared. You need to know what's in it for them, have this in front of you, their profile, so then you know how you're going to best approach them. So everybody needs to get into a really good habit of doing that. This business is built on creating habits, and this is going to be a really, really great habit to get into. Now, when you're making the call, you need to keep it simple, okay? So I used to go on and on and on and on and on about something and my dog and my dad, and my gosh, my cat has just had this amazing experience. So just because my cat has had an amazing experience from the drinking gel, it means you want to join my business. It doesn't matter. Keep it simple, okay? People will buy your excitement, but not if you're going off waffling. You need to keep it really, really simple. Have that profile sheet in front of you. Know your objective. So you can't ring somebody and not know how you want the call to go, because that would be like just getting in the car and driving and not having a destination to go to, isn't it? It's because you need to know how, you need to plan it in your mind, and how what you want the call to go is how it's going to go. So when you're calling somebody, do you want them to have a one-to-one presentation sat with you over a coffee? Do you want them to have a DVD given to them, your future DVD to watch? Or do you want them to have the link sent to them? Do you want them to be invited onto the webinar that we have on a Monday evening? Or do you want them to have a product? You need to know what your objective is when you're giving them a call. So get that really clear in your head. A tip for you is the most effective way is obviously one-to-one over a coffee, because like I said, people buy people. So that is the one that I tend to go for. Focus on the needs of your prospect. It's an invitation, not a presentation. You're not about presenting it to somebody. You're just inviting them to have a look at an opportunity. And get yourself in a real good mindset about this, because a lot of the time, and I only know this because talking from experience again, what happened to me is that I never wanted to ring anybody that I knew, because I would think that in my mind was a really bad mindset to be in. I don't know if any of you are in this mindset, but I used to think that I was only ringing them to build my business. I was only ringing them to build my income, and that is how I felt. So it's a very negative approach to it. But when I changed my mindset and thought to myself, actually, no, because look at how this business is helping me. I could actually be helping these people. So these people are actually pretty blinking lucky that I'm ringing them today and that I've chosen their name to call to invite them to look at an opportunity that is potentially going to change their lives if they want it to. That is a much better mindset to be in. If you're in that mindset, then you know that you're going to be, it makes it so much easier to contact and ring those people, because you're out changing people's lives. You can help them change it if they want you to, but if they don't, then that's not a problem either. You're on to somebody else to change their lives. So it's an invitation to look at the opportunity, not a presentation. Be excited, not over the top excited. I know I get a little bit over the top, but I'm a very excitable person, so I have to bring myself back every now and again. Be about 20% excited, 20% plus, but you don't want to be, a droning voice. They need to hear and feel your excitement down the phone. Have your story ready, which obviously we talked about not last week, the week before. So your business story, you need to tell them about you. Have your diary open, because you need to be ready, because you need to be in the mindset of the next, actually, the most natural thing to do now is book that meeting in. So you need to have your diary open, ready to book that meeting in. Have dates of meetings, etc. So you need to say, instead of saying to somebody, when are you free? You need to say, I'm free on Thursday or Friday at this time. Are you available? And narrow it down that way, because it just makes everything a lot more easier. And have fun. This business is about coming out of your comfort zone, and it is about learning and developing new skills, but it's also about having fun. So you need to make it fun. And if you get into that mindset that you're helping people as opposed to just needing them to build your team, it makes it so much easier for you to have fun with this business. That's the main thing. And if you're having fun, guess what comes out in you? Fun and excitement and a very positive energy. If you're making the call and you're thinking, oh gosh, this is another person that's going to say no to me, or God, they're going to say no, then what you are actually going to portray over on that phone call is desperate. And people don't buy desperate, people buy excited. So always make sure that you're checking where you are, checking your mindset and checking your attitude. Are you desperate or are you excited? Excited is the one to be. So your objective of your call, it's an invitation, not a presentation. So let's say we're going to go in with the business first, because what we do is we lead with the business and follow with the product. So you're going to go in and you're going to talk to somebody about the business opportunity, and they might say no. Shock horror. Can't believe you said no to me. But that's okay, because remember I said we're going to get into the mindset of this person is going to work with me one way or another. They just don't know it yet. So they might say no to the business opportunity, but then I'm going to say, okay, not a problem. Why don't you have a look at some of my products? I've got amazing products at the moment, which are great for, skin, health, detox, losing weight, whatever product. Let me bring some over to you to trial for a couple of days. If they say yes, fantastic. You're going to drop some products over. You're still going to put some information in about the business. And then over a period of time, or even straight away, you're then going to offer the business opportunity to them again. Because when somebody buys your product and they become a product of the product, they naturally cannot help recommending it to other people. Now, I want you to sit there now and think about all the customers that you've got that absolutely love your product and absolutely talk about it to everybody that gives you referrals. If you've got a customer that's giving you a referral, you need for a drinking gel or a product, you need to go to them and say you need to look at the business opportunity because you could be making an income through this. So if you now on this call have anybody that does that, you need to go and contact them first thing and offer them the opportunity because you could potentially have a team member there. We might offer them the product. We might offer them the business. They say no. We might offer them the product. They say no. That's not a problem because we're going to say that's okay. Who do you know that wants to be fitter, healthier, slimmer, get rid of that eczema, get rid of that irritable bowel syndrome, got terrible arthritis that I can help with the product? Or who do you know that wants to earn an extra £500-600 a month working flexibly around their children? Ask for a referral. Sometimes they might not give you a referral straight away. So I do, this is my word patterns. I do kind of say, listen, I know that I've just put you on the spot there in thinking about people. But listen, if you can do me a favour and have a think about it overnight, I'll give you a little call back tomorrow. Maybe you can have a list for me. Perfect. Call them back the next day, get the list off them. Sometimes they might not have the list, but I'm still not going to let that go. I'm going to say to them, no problem. Okay, I know 2 days is a little bit short notice. Shall I give you a call back tomorrow? Maybe you can give me a list of people that you know. And I do that. Always ask for a referral and always follow up. The key is in the follow up. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. You might go in and offer them a product. So you're going to lead with a business, or you might go in and just offer somebody a product. And they might say yes, and then we offer the business opportunity. They might say no, and we offer them a referral. As you can see, the same as over here, but just shortening out the process a little bit. But my biggest advice to you would be lead with the business and follow with the product, because your business will grow a lot quicker. When you're prospecting, you need to be aware of some words that you need to stay away from, weak words. Things like, when you're ready, call me. No, we don't say when you're ready, call me. You say, okay, I tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a call, give you about 3 months. That should be enough time for you. And then I'll give you a call back then in about 3 months' time and decide whether it is something that's for you or not at that time. I've had a lady that literally hasn't been the right time for the last year. She's just about to join my business this month. So, the follow up is always key. And it's not when you're ready, call me, because she would never have called me. But because I've planted the seed in her mind that I'm going to be calling her back, I'm not chasing her because she's verbally agreed that, yeah, that's okay, call me back in 3 months. So I'm not chasing her. We've got a verbal agreement, and you never know where she might be in 3 months. Where if you didn't get that agreement, then when you call her in 3 months, you could potentially be seen as chasing somebody. It's all about you doing the following up. List of features. You don't want to say things like that. Here's a list of features, or product parties. Never call your business launches. When you have a product launch, they're not a party. We're not a parties company. It cheapens it. It's a business launch. We're launching your business. So stay away from the word parties. I hate that word parties. I've got a little business. This is really funny because I used to say that. I used to say it's a little aloe business. Little aloe business. Oh my gosh. Yes, you can tell in the beginning stages why it took me 6 months to recruit one person. But I've learned it, and I've learned, and I'm teaching other people now not to do the same thing. It's not a little business. It's a fantastic, massive business opportunity that I've got to show you. Network marketing. The only reason why I'd say stay away from network marketing is that people can sometimes misunderstand what network marketing is because they don't know what it is. So they might have a negative feeling towards network marketing. So I never really tell people that it's network marketing. Selling aloe. Why would you cheapen yourself? Aloe is absolutely incredible. We've got one of the best products out there, but we don't just sell aloe. We're more than that. We are a business. We're business coaches. We're mentors. We mentor people through the business in achieving things that they want to achieve. That's a lot more than selling aloe. And if I tell you the reason why it took my sponsor so long to get me in the business is because she told me that it was selling aloe. And I thought I was a bit of a corporate snob. So I thought, I'm not selling soap. That's why it took her so long to get me in the business. Price of the starter pack. I never tell people the price of the starter pack, and that's because they don't know the benefits yet. If you're just ringing somebody straight away and saying, yeah, I need £199 for you to start this little business selling aloe, then what benefits have you given them? You need to take them around the cycle. So be very aware of giving people the price of the starter pack. Not that it's a problem at all, but when people have seen the whole business opportunity from the one-to-one to then the business presentation, they will understand what they're getting their hands on then. You will come across maybe some questions of, is there a startup fee? That's something that I used to get or still get. Do you have to put money into it? Do you have to buy a kit? And I just basically say, listen, there is little or no investment, but I'm really excited that you want to know some more information. What I'd like you to do is come and have a little look at some information, see whether it's something that you can see yourself doing, and then we can talk the next steps. That's a lot nicer way of handling that objection. I hope that's helped, because I know that if I had words to say with that, then that would have helped me in the beginning. Product details, stay away from that. Entire presentation over the phone. You don't want to say that. You just want to say, I want to give you some information online or over the phone or over a coffee. They're a lot nicer words, because words like that will start to scare people, and you don't want to scare people. Prospecting, your strong words are things like business proposition. If you're talking to a business guy, I've got a business proposition for you. We're a very dynamic company. We've got over 30 years track record. We're in the health and nutrition and lifestyle business. We're in the next $1 trillion industry. I don't know if you're aware that we are actually in the next $1 trillion industry. Be proud of it. You need to say that. How many companies can say they're in a $1 trillion industry? Not many. It's home based. I love that. Home based. You need to get that out there. How many people, especially mums, if you know any mums with children, want a home based business? Even people who don't. I'm not a mum, but oh my gosh, am I glad that I've got a home based business. High income potential, business partner, my business testimonial. I'm looking for some key people. That's a great one. I'm looking for some key people right now. Full training and support is given to you. So these are really, really strong words that you can use. And then all you say is, the next step is, and tell them what the next step is, which would be, let's come and have a little look at the opportunity. So there's a number of different ways of making the call. This is your third party approach. So some people, I was like this. I didn't want to go straight in and ask my people, my friends, come and have a little look at this opportunity. I used to get a little bit scared. And the main thing you need to remember is, as long as you're getting people in front of that one-to-one, your stats will start to kick in. Your stats are, when you first start your business, 1 in 10 people will join your team. So that's what I did. I thought, right, what I'm going to do then is do the third party approach. And you might find this approach really simple and easy. So you're just going to say, hi, Sam, it's Jane. I'm not going to say Jane because my name's Jules. Hi, Sam, it's Jules here. Do you have a moment to talk? Great. The reason why I'm calling Sam is I've just started a new business with the help of a friend, backed by a multi-million global company, and we're looking for some good people to work with in your area. And I was wondering if you just knew anybody that was interested. Guess what Sam's going to say? Yeah, what's that all about then? They're going to show some interest. Oh, Sam, I tell you what, I haven't got time to talk about it now, but let's grab a coffee for half an hour then. And then I can show you some more information. Bam, your one-to-one's in the diary. As long as you're getting people in front of the one-to-one, you can't go wrong. It doesn't matter how you're going to get them there, but you're going to get them in front of a one-to-one. So you might find that a really good approach to use. The next one is your personality call. Hi Sam, it's Jules here. How are you? The other thing I'll say is make these calls your own, because when I actually first started making my phone calls, I'd say, hi Sam, so how are you? Yeah, the reason why I'm calling, have you got a moment to talk? And literally my friend turned around and went, Jules, is that you? Talk properly. So obviously these are scripts and everybody in Forever uses a script, so don't worry about using it. But you want to make sure that you're on a level with the people that you speak to. So speak to them normally, but use the same structure in the call. The reason I'm calling is I've just started a new business with the help of a couple of colleagues on the back of a multi-million-dollar company, and they asked me if I knew anybody. And I thought of you. What a great compliment is that to make to somebody? If somebody phoned me and said to me, Jules, I've just started a business and I'm really excited about it, and it's back in this multi-dollar company, and I actually thought of you, I'd be like, oh my gosh, wow, somebody thought of me. That's really, really nice. So remember that this is how your prospects are going to feel, even if you're feeling quite negative towards calling them. But you need to change that negativity into positivity around calling them, because you're helping them. Making the call the hot button approach. Hi Sam, it's Jules here. How are you? Do you have a moment to talk? Great. You know that sports car, holiday home, house, wherever, whatever it is, that you've always spoken about with me? Well, I think I found a way for you to achieve it sooner rather than later. Haven't got a moment to talk it's not the right time. I can't really talk about it here at the moment. But what I can do is let's book in half an hour where I can meet you for a coffee and tell you all about it. And then you'll be able to see if it's something for you or not. I don't know if it's going to be for you, but I think if you see what I see, you'll be just as excited as I am. Making the call to a dissatisfied person. This is the call that I had. Hi Sam, it's Jules here. How are you? Do you have a moment to talk? Great. You've always hated commuting. Oh my gosh, how many people hate commuting nowadays? You've always said about how you hate commuting. Well, I think I've found a way that you could stop commuting and see more time with your family. I don't know if what I've found is for you. Obviously, only you can decide that. Why don't we meet for a coffee and I'll run you by it? Do you see how we're making an invitation, not a presentation? It's very casual. Customer call. So if you just want to call somebody about the products. Hi Sam, it's Jules. How are you? Do you have a moment to talk? Great. I know that you've been bothered with digestive problem over the years, and I've just come across an amazing product which I think that can help you. Can I come around and show you what I found? This is a really, really great way if you're somebody that's just got your box, or you've got a new team member. Get them to use this script and get them to book in some little coffee mornings and go over and show people the products, get them to try them. Believe me, our team at the moment are having fantastic results by doing that, because it's one-on-one, it's nice and personal. They get to try the products, use the products, and believe me, they don't just come away with a drinking gel for the digestive problems. They come away with the tush gel, the creams, and also sometimes a deodorant stick. So think of how many people that you can help with the products, but how many customers you can get just by using that approach, or invite them over. So you don't think about other things to do other than your big product. Well, do your big product launches, but additional to the big product launches. This is ideal for people that don't attend your launches and things like that. So the usual response will be, sounds interesting. What is it? Or, what is it? Because that's the obvious response, isn't it? Somebody's going to say, what is it? And at this stage, you don't need to tell them much more, but you're going to invite them to view some information by either doing a one-to-one, or by sending a DVD, or online one DVD, or by doing an online one-to-one. And how you're going to get around that is when they say, what is it? You're going to say, these scripts are in your Teach to Reach as well, but you're going to say something along the lines of, we're in the health, look good, feel good sector, which is a booming sector at the moment. I'm so pleased that you want to know some more information, but listen, it's quite a visual business, not something I can really do here now over the phone. So what I'd love to do is meet you for half an hour for a coffee and show you some more information. If they're very persistent, like my people are, then they might go, yeah, great, what is it? Again. So you're just going to say the same thing. Do you know what? I'm so pleased that you want to know some more information. I'm really excited. Listen, let's book in half an hour and then I can show you some information so you can see if it's something for you or not. That is your response when they say, what is it? What is it? If they keep going on and on, you could say, it's a look good, feel good sector or $2.6 billion turnover. Those things are in your teach to reach. But if I'm honest, my experience has been when I've said that twice, they kind of go, yeah, okay, let's book in a one-to-one then. Well, they don't say one-to-one, but let's book in a coffee, and I book them in a one-to-one or send them a DVD, whichever way I want it to go. So here, if they persist, this is a really good pattern to say. Oh, we've changed her name. It's Sarah now. We'll call him Sam still, just to keep it consistent. Well, Sam, I really can't do this justice over the phone, but what I can tell you is that we're a 30-year-old trading successfully in over 150 countries with a $2.6 billion turnover. The product range is in the look good, feel good, take care of yourself sector, which, as you know right now, is booming. Predicted to be the next $1 trillion industry. What I'd like to do is have half an hour with you to run some information by you, and I think then you'll be able to see why I'm so impressed. If you see what I see, great, we can take it to the next step, and if you don't, not a problem. But is Friday at 7:30 good for you, or Saturday morning at, say, 11? And then you can also include your story as to why you got involved into the business as well. So remember, just to recap on this, the usual response will be, what is it? You're going to say, I'm so pleased you want to know some more information. Let's grab a coffee. And over a coffee, I can show you some more information for half an hour. Then they might say, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? So then you're going to say this. Can't do it just over the phone, but we're a 30-year-old company. You know these stats, you would have seen them. 30-year-old company, trading in 150 countries worldwide, 2.6 billion turnover. The product range is in the look good, feel good, take care of your sector, which is booming right now and predicted to be the next $1 trillion industry. What I'd love to do is have half an hour with you to run some information. I think then you'll see why I'm so impressed. And if you see what I see, great. Take it to the next step. And if you don't, not a problem. Is Friday at 7:30 good for you? So that's how that's going to go. So start working on that as well, because that'll make a massive difference to you. So the objections that you'll get with this business is, what is it? That's normal. Is it Amway? Is it Avon? Is it, I don't know, whoever else company out there. Is it pyramid selling? Is it network marketing? Is it selling? So probably all of you on this call right now or webinar would have come across those kind of questions. Now, when anybody asks you a question, always remember that questions are the answers. So you ask them a question back. So what you're going to turn around and say is, that's interesting. Why do you say that? So let's pick one as an example. I love it when people say to me, is it pyramid selling? I say to them, that's interesting. Why do you say that? They don't really know what pyramid selling is half the time, to be honest. I don't really know that I do. But they can't really say what it is, and they'll say whatever they want to say. Your response to that is, do you know what? I don't really know much about pyramid selling, but what I do know is that it's class 2 fraud. And to be honest, a company of this size, we've been going for 30 years with $2.8 billion turnover. We've got the Invest in People Award. I think a company of this size probably would have been found out by now if it was illegal. They don't know what to say to that, which is a great response. The other thing that you can do is the other questions that you might have, be really aware of this, right? When somebody asks you a question, it's very, very easy in the beginning stages of your business to get defensive and go straight onto the defensive and say, no, it's not like Avon. No, it's not like this. But you need to know why they're asking that question. So, for example, if somebody says to me, is it Avon? I say to them, that's interesting. Why do you say that? They might say, well, I really like Avon, actually. So I'm going to go, well, yeah, it's exactly like Avon, yeah. Better benefits, but yeah, kind of same thing. Or they might say to me, well, because I don't like Avon, so I'm going to say, well, it's nothing like Avon at all. And that's not about lying to somebody. That's just about saying to somebody, you can have this business, can be whatever you want it to be. So it doesn't have to be like Avon, but it can be if you want it to be. So you need to find out why they're asking that question. So whenever, always stop yourself and think. And it also gives you a couple of seconds where you got thinking power while they're talking to think about your response. So when everybody asks you a question, you always respond with, that's interesting, why do you say that? Always do that. Have your answers ready. A very good way to answer a question is the feel, felt, found. Always remember the feel, felt, found. So if somebody says, let's use an example, I'm too busy, that's the one you'll get a lot. Everybody gets that because everybody's too busy, and they probably are, because nobody, if you think about when you started your business, were you busy? Everybody is. But so what you're going to say to them is, do you know what? I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same. But what I found was, by having a good look at the information, by getting my question answered and realizing how many people I've got for support, it actually just fits into the nooks and crannies of your life. So that's what you're going to say to somebody. Well, if they've got any objections, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same, but what I found was this. So that's a really, really good tool to use as well. Prospecting referrals. Referrals are fabulous. I've got a manager in my team now who was from a referral, believe it or not. So can you afford to walk past a referral when they could potentially be a manager in your business? I think not. So what you're going to say is, if your prospect says no, then thank them for your time. Thank them for their time. Ask if you can keep in touch with them over the up and coming months, and always ask for a referral. So thanks, Sarah. If I'm being honest, I'm sorry it's not for you right now. However, let's keep in touch over the next few months. And in the meantime, I am looking for some quality people to work with, people like you. Do you know anybody who'd be open to looking at a business that would give them not only a great income, but a fantastic quality of life? As it says there, if you don't ask the question, you might be walking past your next diamond manager. Diamond manager earns around about £350,000 a year. Can you afford to walk past your next diamond manager? No. So you need to ask for a referral. I could have put the phone down and said, oh, no, okay, no problem. They said no, but I didn't. I asked for a referral, and that referral has turned into a manager in my business, a very fantastic manager in my business. If it's a no, still a no. Some people don't like to give you a referral, and that's okay too. Don't forget, we're comfortable with people saying no to us. That's what makes us strong. Offer the product. Thank you for listening. I appreciate how you feel. But we have a fantastic range of everyday products, and I'd love to drop you a sample box round for free for a few days. Would Wednesday or Thursday be better for you? So you're not saying, can I? You're telling them, and I'm going to drop it round on Wednesday or Thursday. What day's best for you? So in your mindset, when you're making these calls, always remember you're going to work with these person in one way or another. They just don't know it yet. If you don't ask, you don't get. The fortune is in the follow-up. You need to follow up within 2 to 3 days, 48 hours, I'd say maximum, strike while the iron is hot. Lots of people, when I do plannings, when I look at people's businesses, when I see why people's businesses aren't moving forward, it's because they don't follow up. Believe me, following up is one of the most important parts of our business. Call at the time you say that you're going to call. That's really important. You need to be reliable. The longer you leave it, the more likely your prospect will lose interest. If you're doing a tabletop, if you're doing a product launch and we've got those prize draws questionnaires filled out, you need to follow up within 48 hours. You need to strike, like I said, while the iron's hot. Somebody says, can you call me back? You need to call them back when you say you're going to. Know your objective. Are you going to invite them to a business presentation or arrange an A4 presentation or to arrange a product show? But the fortune is in the follow-up. Follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. That is the key to this business. Prospecting stats. So what really you need to do is start committing to contacting at least 12 people a week off your list every week for the first 3 months. Now, what you need to understand are your stats, because this is when you're going to feel comfortable with people saying no. So of the 12 to 15 people that you're going to call a week, now I would say if you're going to commit to calling 12 people a week, break it down in, I get my team, we call 5 people a day, which is 25 people a week over a 5-day period. But, 12 people you can call as well, but break it down into manageable chunks. So break it down into daily. You need to touch your business every day. You need to be persistent and consistent and touch it every day. So off your list for the first 3 months, out of the 12 to 15, 6 people will say no. It's not just a no though, it's a no not or a no not now. 6 people will look at the information and come to meet you. 3 to 4 people will come to a presentation with you, business presentation. If you're not attending your business presentations, you need to. They're the most important part of the business because you need to be taking people there. And 1 to 2 people will join your business. So out of the 6 will say no, 6 will look at more info, 3 to 4 out of those 6 will come and look at the presentation, and 1 to 2 will join your business. Get used to your stats. If you know your stats, you can plan your business. So let's all try and do this now this week. It doesn't matter, wipe off Monday today if you haven't made any calls today, but from Wednesday to Friday, let's all try and call 12 new people and let's see how that will affect our business next week. And what would be great is if you can give me some feedback and let me know how that's gone for you, and we can always share it then on one of the calls. Activity, how serious are you in building a business and building that income you want? If you're doing the business part-time, 2 contacts a day, 2 people a day. If you're working full-time, 50-hour weeks, whatever, like I was, little habit I got into is when I would get home, if I would go into the house, I would do everything possible to avoid my calls. Or, you got to cook the tea, somebody phones you, life gets in the way. So what I would do when I became serious, after 6 months, mind, of starting my business, I then decided to become serious. Don't you waste as much time as I did. I would pull up on the drive and wouldn't leave my car until I'd made my calls. So maybe that's a good tip for you. Semi-part-time, you're making 5 calls a day. 3 people about the business opportunity and 2 people about the products. Full-time a day, 10 contacts a day, 7 people about the business, maybe 3 people about the products. Philemon in Zambia joined Forever Living Products in 2009. This is how serious some people are. There are no products in Zambia. She drives to Tunisia or South Africa, to South Africa to pick up the products from there. Now, he caught the vision and he speaks to 15 people a day. He's now qualified for profit share, car plan, travel, and earns up to $8,000 a month. What are you prepared to do? If I said to you, I will pay you a 6-figure income, all I need you to do is make 5 calls a day, 3 people about the business, 2 people about the opportunity. But also what I'm going to do with that is I'm also going to then give you a car or money towards a car. I'm going to give you a big bonus at the end of every year in an oversized check, and I'm going to take you on holiday. Would you do it? Of course you would. So you need to treat your business like a business, and you need to start doing that now. Because, okay, the 6-figure income isn't here now, but by making your 5 calls a day, your 6-figure income will be there. Trust me. So you can't afford to not do it if that's what you want. Think about what are you prepared to do. Your points activity sheet, if you remember at the beginning, I mentioned the points activity sheet where we can think that we're doing lots and lots of things, but actually we're not doing the income producing activities, and that's what we need to be doing. On this points activity sheet, there is a list of income producing activities. You will find these on your pages, your team pages, and that's 6-month manager page and my Power Dragon page. So print these off and, be real. Put your stats in and you'll know then what action and what activity you're putting into your business. And so I still use this now. So I always know that it's keeping me on track. So if you want them emailed to you, let me know, but they are on your team pages. And that brings us to the end of tonight. So what I want you to do now is your 7-day plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Even if you haven't done your 7-day plan yet, not a problem. Do it from today. And then every Sunday, what I do is after the conference call, I always make sure I sit down and do my 7-day plan. So your 7-day homework, I'm going to give it to you, which is fab. Work on your goal books and start sharing them on the pages. Profile your first 12 to 15 prospects that we're going to call this week and call them. I want you to make 15 calls this week and let us know what the outcomes are. Review your progress with 20 to 30 customers. So, how many customers are you getting in? How many gel drinkers have you got? Are they ready for more gels? Fill in your points activity sheet for the week as well. Continue to build your 100 plus names list. Book in any next training and events. We've got the success day coming up. Make sure that you're there. There's a clue in the title. It's where the successful people go. Lots of people from the power team are being recognised this month, so it will be a really, really great day. Book your next, download the one-to-one presentation off the qlsonline.net and keep changing.